I'm joined here now by Kevin Abourezk, who is the Deputy Managing Editor for ICT. Welcome, Kevin.
Thanks for having me, Stewart.
Kevin, you were just at an interesting corn harvest event. Tell us about that.
In early September, I got to take part and photograph and video this corn harvest that took place on the Ioway Reservation in northeast Kansas. And this past spring, the tribe, several members of the tribe, planted this corn along with beans and squash using the Three Sisters arrangement in honor of an elder who passed away in January, a man named Lance Foster, who was the former Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Ioway Tribe of Kansas and Nebraska. And so in early September, they finally got to harvest the corn, and I got to be there and witness that.
Was it an emotional event, Kevin?
The people there, certainly everything they did with great reverence. And I'm sure they were thinking about Lance, and they were thinking about their ancestors as well. I got to speak to a young woman there, Shelby Mary, who was the main Ioway person who oversaw the tending of the garden. And she talked about seeing a photograph of her own great-grandfather stirring a pot over the same fireplace that they still use today to boil and cook food over. And so she remembered this photo, this black and white photo she had seen of her grandfather doing this and preparing the corn. What they do is they pick the corn, and then they call it blanching it. They boil it for a bit, and then they take it and they kind of carve all of the kernels off of it, and then they dry it and they store it for later. I was also able to meet an elder there, Reuben Ironhorse Kent, who's an artist and, has a lot of experience growing and harvesting corn. And he had a lot of really interesting things to say.
Now there's this thing about food is medicine. And, food has always been medicine. But it's like a new discovery, and the people are just now coming back to the ideal that it might be better to grow your own food and be able to know how to harvest it. So harvesting your own food and learning how to prepare it, how to keep things for the next generation, because one day it might come in handy.
Kevin, he talked about a growing understanding of the importance of growing your own food. Is this a trend in Indian country?
It certainly is, yeah. I've been to a number of corn harvests and plantings as well. Yeah, just this past summer, we had one here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're growing a garden for the Otomaziria people, who were the original inhabitants of this part of southeast Nebraska, but they live in Oklahoma today. But they come back, every September for a special day, and we were able to harvest some of their crops that we were growing for them here. So I see this all over the place now. A lot of tribes are starting to bring back their indigenous foods, especially corn and beans and squash and all of these things as well.
And of course, you hear food sovereignty is sovereignty.
Absolutely. Yeah. Being able to, remain in control of our indigenous foods is going to be so important going into the future. Obviously, we're always in competition with corporate agricultural interests, and it's going to be important to, just be sure that we watch over these things and protect them for future generations.
Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.